there is nothing that I like better than getting in front of a group of awesome women who are doing incredible work in the world and who are gathered together in the name of improving themselves so they can make their difference. Woo! Yeah, baby. All right, so I'd like you to picture this. I'm 28 years old. I am 5 years into my professional acting career in New York City, and I'm standing on this huge stage in a magnificent theater, and I've got this red curly wig and thigh-high black leather high-heeled boots, and I've got this black leather bustier that is studded. Oh yeah, okay. I am playing the role of Gymnasia, an Amazon queen, in a musical called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. Now, I got this role not because of all my strong abilities and training as an actress, no, or my very strong and big singing voice, no. I got this role because I'm 6 feet tall and Amazon-like. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's a glorified chorus role, and I have like a couple of lines here and there, and anything I sing, I'm singing with a whole bunch of other people. And I gotta tell you, it's not what all those years of training, right? All those years of leading roles in middle school and high school and college and summer theater and how about like the beautiful solos that I got to sing in all those choirs and then fronting bands. No, none of that prepped me for the harsh reality of standing in the bustier and the boots and holding a bullwhip, which I can crack on cue. Yeah. Oh, for the run of the show, I gotta tell you, I feel a lot of uns, unseen, unheard, underused, and really, really unhappy. And the more I stand around in my bustier, cracking that bullwhip on cue, the more I think, enough already. This is not what I want to be doing at this stage in my life. I don't want my voice to be blending with other voices. I want my voice and my gifts front and center. I want more. Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever had a moment when you looked around at your life and your work and you thought, holy cow, how did I get here? I mean, you know, maybe you weren't like snapping a bullwhip and wearing a red wig, but you thought, you know, I'm not really rocking my full potential. And that's how I was feeling, and again, I asked myself, how did this happen? And sadly, the answer was very easy to find. What happened was that 5 years had passed with me waiting and hoping and waiting that somebody with power would notice me and kind of pull me into the spotlight and actually give me the roles that I felt were the kind I was worthy of. I was waiting and hoping, all that waiting and hoping. You know where it led me? Getting stuck in the wings, basically. The wings, in case you don't know, that's that place that's either stage left or stage right, where the actors hang out waiting to step onto the stage, right? It's an in-between place. It's a place where you hover briefly. You know, it's not a place of staying. It's a place of transition, of coming and going. And yet, sometimes you can find yourself, metaphorically speaking, stuck in the wings. You know, you get stuck there for too long, like I did. You're waiting and hoping and dreaming. You know, and I see it all the time with the women that I coach and train. Incredible, amazing women like you. Because you're all yummy. Every one of you. Waiting and hoping for maybe somebody to come along and notice them and invite them to the table, right? Give them permission to helm an important project or, I don't know, apply for a position of greater leadership. Women who maybe they're waiting in the wings because They're waiting for that magical someday, and this may be familiar to some of you, where everything's going to be perfect. And you're going to just know everything that you need to know. You're going to be 185% ready with zero chance of failure to whatever. Launch that blog or ask your boss for a raise or whatever. Apply to speak at a conference. Or maybe you're waiting in the wings because, bluntly put, you're scared. You're a little anxious about putting your opinion, your wisdom, your perspective, your big idea out there. Because what if people don't like it? What if they laugh at you? What if they're not impressed? Now, I also know this. I know that there's some of you out there thinking, oh, Eleni, come on. It's not my fault that I'm maybe stuck in the wings a little bit, maybe, or hanging there at least. I mean, there are things out there that are completely out of my control, like slide advancers. But, there are things like, I'll give you a list. Cultural attitudes and sexism and centuries of silencing and marginalization. Not to mention office politics. I mean, come on. And as a woman, it's just so much harder, Eleni, for me to step into the spotlight and to be taken seriously. I have to work like 5 times as hard. And then you add this to recent limitations that the pandemic kind of caused where, I'm doing so much of my stuff remotely now. And it's really hard to make an impression, when you're in a stupid little thumbnail like this. Especially with people who could maybe move you on up. And I get that, I do. I get it. I totally get it. And I could talk all day about that. I could talk about silencing and limitations that come at you from the outside, that keep us playing small. I could talk about that. But that's not really what I want to talk about. What I really want to talk about is something in our control. How we sometimes silence and minimize and limit ourselves. And when we play small, when we choose to keep ourselves metaphorically waiting in the wings, whatever that might mean to you, we not only jeopardize our dreams, but in my opinion, we rob the world. We rob the world of our gifts, our yumminess. That is a professional term.